Hello, this is Dawn Priolet of dawnpriolet.com, and in this video I want to do some fabulous EFT tapping with you. This is for you if you have not been dating for a while, for some of you a long while, maybe months, or for some of you maybe even years. And so I want to address something in this video that I am seeing over and over again with my clients. Sorry, my cat is like moving the camera. Sorry. But I've seen this over and over again with my clients is that because they have this pattern in their dating and their relationships, their romantic relationships, where when they get involved, they give and they give and they give and they do and they do and they do. And because of that, all this giving and doing and acting, um, and really until they start coaching with me, they don't realize that this very behavior is so masculine. And then it's like a light bulb goes off when I tell them that, all that doing and giving, it's very masculine behavior. And what it tends to do is if you're with a masculine man and you keep giving and doing and trying to please him, that people pleaser personality, you know that one? When you keep doing that, you are actually putting your hand up and making him go away. Because if it's a masculine man that you're with, he has no other choice. Well, he's got two choices, actually. He can, one, either lean back and become more feminine and say, well, okay, this woman wants to give and give and give. I'll just lean back and I'll just take it all. You know that one because you probably have been in relationships with that guy. The guy that just takes and takes and takes and takes until you finally get pissed off and say, to hell with it, I'm out of here. Or if he's very secure in his masculine energy and he wants to be the masculine energy in the relationship, by your giving and constantly doing and giving and calling him and chasing him and all of that kind of needy behavior, it really is very emasculating for him. And let me say, first of all, the word emasculation, it means to render someone powerless. And so let me explain. When you do all this doing and action and all this masculine behavior, you are depriving him, you are rendering him powerless in his masculinity. He cannot be the masculine in the relationship when you are already being the masculine. And two masculines, they come together like this. They're butting heads all the time. This is like, you see in mating season, the male bucks, the deers, they always end up butting heads and they literally end up locking horns. And you may find that if you're doing this very masculine behavior, that's what you end up doing with your man. You are locking horns with him and it doesn't work. And so after years and years and years of doing this kind of thing in relationship and not understanding this whole masculine feminine energy thing and not understanding why it doesn't work and ending up in frustration every single time, after years of this, what happens is oftentimes, we unconsciously shut down emotionally. It's almost like there's a part of us that's like, how could I be so stupid? I screwed up again, blah, blah, blah. And we go into this self-punishment mode and we don't even realize that we're doing it. We just end up saying things like, well, I'm open for a relationship, but I don't know why, but just like all these years have passed, months have passed, and nothing's happening. And we really don't realize that on some level, on an unconscious level, we may have just shut down and said, you know what, if I can't figure this out, if I can't figure out how to do this in a way that's not going to zap all of my energy and make me feel like crap, and then the guy ends up leaving me anyway, or he just becomes like a little child and I feel like I'm his mommy. If that keeps happening enough times, you're liable to just say, you know what, it's not even worth it to be in a relationship, and if I can't figure this out, I'm just not doing it. So you may have done that either consciously or unconsciously, or maybe a little bit of both. But I want to do some tapping. If you are that woman who gives and gives and gives and gives and gives, it's a pattern, and I want you to just do this tapping with me because I want you to learn to be compassionate with yourself and to forgive yourself a little bit, because believe me, it's not your fault. You learned this behavior probably from your mother, and maybe even your dad too. Maybe he treated you like he wanted you to be the boy child, whatever. He contributed to this. So let's just tap on the karate chop point and let's see what we can do with this. Even though I have this pattern, and to be honest, it's not even worth it to date anymore. It takes too much work. I mean, I'm already giving and giving and giving and doing and doing and doing and doing at work. I'm already doing everybody else's work plus mine at work. I overgive, and they don't even pay me enough to do everything that I do because I'm doing the work of 3 or 4 people. And quite frankly, I don't have anything left for a relationship, because when I'm in a relationship, I give 200%. I give and give and give and give. I'm like a frenetic robot with no thought of rest for myself, no thought for my own needs. And then I just end up getting pissed off and spiteful and angry. What the hell is wrong with him? Why can't he see how much he's taking advantage of me? And I get pissed off, and then I just do something to end the relationship. I end up blowing up because I can't even say when I feel upset. I can't even talk about it. That's part of my pattern too. I can't say, I need help, honey. Please help me. I need your help. I never learned how to do that in a relationship without getting angry first. I know I probably got this pattern from my mother and my father, or my mother and whoever, and I am so willing to heal this, because right now, I just can't even allow myself the luxury of being in a relationship, because quite frankly, I have no energy left for a relationship, because I know myself. When I'm in a relationship, it could kill me. The drama that I create and all the work that I pile up for myself. And for what? He ends up leaving anyway, or cheating on me, or lying to me, or doing something else. I end up getting totally disrespected. And I love and forgive myself, even though maybe I don't. Maybe I'm not ready yet. Even though there's a part of me that is never, never, never wanting to get into a relationship again, because relationships take too much work. They are work, 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 work. Because people always have needs. And as long as someone has a needs, I feel compelled to take care of that need. And I can't say no. I was raised to never say no. In fact, I came into the world feeling unwanted, feeling like I didn't even have a right to be here. So I kind of took on this pattern very early in my life of constantly trying to please everyone, like I somehow had to prove that I had a right to be here. I needed to prove that I had value by constantly trying to fulfill everybody else's needs. And it's left me exhausted, completely exhausted, and furious, and resentful. And it's even sometimes made me physically sick, because getting physically sick was like the only way I could actually say no without feeling horribly guilty. And even then, yeah, I do have to admit, I felt guilty even then, but at least I had a good excuse. I love and accept myself even with this pattern, and I am so willing to heal this for my highest good and for the good of everybody around me, whether they know it or not. So tapping through the points, this pattern of always overgiving, overdoing, trying to prove my worth, trying so hard to prove that I do have value, which means the truth is I don't actually believe that I have any value. If I did, I wouldn't need to prove that I do. Maybe I came into the world feeling unwanted, feeling unwelcome, and maybe I took on this pattern very, very early as a way to survive in the world. Because after all, if I could prove that I had some value, if I could prove that I had some value and worth to my parents, they wouldn't kill me. Maybe they would feed me. Maybe they would actually protect me if I had value and worth to them. That little younger part of me was not sure that I would even survive in this world, because I was so vulnerable. I was so little and so vulnerable. And I knew, because I felt all my mother's anxiety, I also took on that anxiety, and I felt unsafe in this world. So I had to do something. I had to take on some kind of behavior to make sure that I wouldn't be killed. It was just a matter of survival. And so I became a giver. I became a people pleaser. I became someone who would never, ever, ever say no. I didn't even feel I had a right to say no. It just wasn't even possible for me to say no. And maybe there was even a part of me that felt like I didn't have a right to breathe the air even. That's how worthless I felt. And even though I managed to survive, and grow up, and I'm still here physically, the same pattern that I took on to help me survive in the world is the same pattern that I'm still doing. I'm still using this behavior in this survival pattern to try to keep myself alive. So what that means is In my relationships, I'm still at a first chakra survival level. Never mind being adored and cherished. Never mind that. At the most, I'm just hoping I won't get killed. At the most, I'm just hoping that if I'm ever in danger, that this man will step up and protect me. And so I just take the crumbs in this relationship, in all my relationships. Once in a while, he puts forth a little bit of effort, and I see that as absolute evidence that, okay, he does love me. But in the meantime, the one who's doing all the work is me. I've lived with this pattern my whole life. And I am so, so willing to let it go. I call on the wisdom of my soul. That part of me that has always been whole and complete. That part of me that could never be wounded. I call on my soul to help me heal this. Because even though my personality part of me, my ego was wounded, my inner child was wounded, there are many parts of me at many ages that were wounded around this. My soul is eternal, and it has never been wounded. My soul knows that I am valuable, that I am worthy of love. And I have always been valuable and worthy of love. Not because of what I do, but just because I am. I am a divine spark of God. I am a piece of God. That means I do have value. Just for being, just for existing. I don't need to do anything to prove that I am valuable. I don't need to prove anything. I don't need to prove that my life has value. No matter whether or not my parents wanted me or expected me or whether they welcomed me into this world, it doesn't matter. Because God had a higher purpose. God is the one who made my life a miracle that it is. God is the one who decides who's to be born and who isn't. So regardless of how my mother may have felt about my coming into this world, I forgive her. Because she really didn't know. She really couldn't see from a higher place that I was meant to be here. And that I was not, in fact, a mistake. I was never a mistake. My existence was made possible because of a higher source. And her belief in lack and scarcity, her belief that she didn't have enough money, didn't have enough time, didn't have enough whatever to be able to raise me properly, had nothing to do with my lovability, with my value, and my worth. I choose to know that now. I choose to really let that in. And I choose to forgive my mother, my father, and I choose to forgive myself for buying into this, for believing, for ever doubting my own worth. Take a deep breath. And drink some water if you have it handy, please. I hope that you have found this topic helpful. As you see, I kind of, brought in the positive right towards the end, so we don't probably actually need another positive round. Please let me know in your comments below this video how this was for you. And also, I will leave the link to the website and a way that you can work with me one-on-one in some coaching. So again, this is Dawn Priolet. So hope that this was helpful for you, and I will see you in the next video. Ciao for now.